Martinez back in camp,
Yep.
pitching in the minor league game today.
Yep. So we'd had him ramped up a little bit before he had gone, and he's, he'll probably give us 3-4, something like that today. So, we'll look at maybe one more before we go, and I think we'll be in good shape with him.
Do you see it as a positive for some of the guys that have been in the WBC, Martinez and you, that they've ramped up already this quickly for game environments like that?
Well, I think it's more the position players. I mean, in Yu's case, he's only pitched. I mean, we'll see where we are with him. We could be behind significantly with him, but you know that with the WBC that those problems could transpire.
How much game action do you think Nelson Cruz will get this next week between Cactus League games, B games?
He's going to get some at-bats. So, whether or not we get him as many on a certain day back here, if it makes more sense to give him a bunch of at-bats back here, if, he wants to play like he wanted to go today. So, with the off day tomorrow, kind of had the option, but he wanted to get some at-bats today as well. So he'll try to get as many as he can, but, he's a veteran guy too. He knows how to handle this.
Do you have any clarity on what your pitching schedule is now, moving forward?
What's that?
You pitching in the BBC, any clarity on what it is?
I really don't know.
What do you feel Austin Nola is this spring as far as offense? I mean, I'm sure you're not worried about the game calling, defense side of it, but
Yeah, no, he's swinging the bat really well, and that's always been kind of who he was. I think there was a lot thrown on his plate last year, being the primary catcher, and the focus there mostly was, with the pitchers and being a real catcher for the first time in his career, and a guy who's a starter, and I think he excelled at that. But I think there's a little bit more, there offensively, and we're seeing some of those swings this spring already.
Julio starting today. We're getting down to the end of it here.
Yeah.
What does he have to show you over the last couple of weeks to kind of be in consideration for us?
Pitching the way he has, he's really only had one bad outing. So, whether it's a length roll, and a lot of it depends on, where our starters are once we start the season. We're probably going to need several guys, or at least a couple guys that can give us true length. So it's, not necessarily a starting role for him. It could be just as much, anything we need to just make a team.
today's Bo Bengals well for Joe. How soon did you see him start facing hitters again?
That we take a look at that every time he pitches. We want to be, understanding that we don't want to rush him. So he wants to rush. We certainly don't want to. We need him for the entire season. But that's always a conversation, how he feels after he throws a bullpen. There's a chance that he could throw to hitters next time out.
Screening yesterday, reveal anything?
What's that?
The biomechanical.
No,
screening?
all good. Yeah, I don't understand all that stuff. They just told me it was all good.
With Tim Lopes, he's playing the outfield a little bit yesterday. He continues to hit well. How do you view him right now in the mix for one of these spots?
Yeah, we're trying to look at versatility with him. He's played all the infield positions last first. And if he can play some outfield, then, it's certainly a consideration to, for us to know that he can play just about anywhere. And you always like to have one of those guys. So he's played really well. He's obviously in consideration to make this team. With Toddy out for the first 20 days, there is another spot. And we'll see where that goes, whether it's an outfield or an infield spot.